Beerfox here, and today I'm just going to do a brief overview of Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn, the latest iteration of it. What had happened originally was the game was released in rather pathetic state by all accounts, technically, and other reasons as well. Basically, it was a pile of stinking shit. Not only did a lot of the fans think that, but Square Enix did as well, so they pretty much shut it down and started again. Those who previously bought it got this for now. I didn't play it before, I just picked up the latest iteration of it not long ago, and if you were thinking of getting this, perhaps my overview will help you a little bit along the way. Just to say, there really isn't a lot to this game in respect of anything new. It doesn't, test the boundaries of MMOs or anything like that. It doesn't rewrite the book or go outside of the box a lot. It's pretty standard. The Holy Trinity applies here in respect of healers, tanks and DPS. When you're in groups, that's pretty much how it works. Aggro management, healing and damage burning stuff down. What is interesting about it is, apart from that glowing bunny rabbit pet of mine, what is interesting about it is the fact that you create a character, and that character can be any class. So once you get to level 10, you can go and speak to the other guild, in-game guilds I'm talking about there, like the Warriors Guild for example, and become one of those. I haven't done much in respect to that, as you can see here. I'm an Arcanist at the moment, so but I'm also a level 21 Conjurer, but there's Gladiator, Pugilist, Marauder, Lancer, Archer, and the same with what it calls Disciples of the Hand, which is basically crafting. And all you do to take, once you've spoken to the guild master of the relevant class faction, is equip the main hand weapon of that class or crafting profession, if that makes sense. So we can see here's my level 21 country. It says level 16, that's referring to the gear basically. And we just equip that set. There goes little bunny boy, because he's like one of the Arcanists' pets. And I'm now a level 21 Conjurer, which is a healing class. So what is interesting is, if we have a look at the trait system, is you can take traits from, additional traits from the other classes. So like Ruin is actually an Arcanist skill, and so is Physics, so, and I've got them there, and you can use them. You can make like hybrids, like white mages, black mages, etc. classes as you get further into it. You do start as level 1 if you start as a new class. If you've already leveled 1 up and you start as a new one, you'll start as level 1 and have to level your way up. But I do believe you get a experience boost bonus depending on the highest level toon you have. Combat's a pretty standard affair. It is just hotkey based. There's no evasive roll or anything like that, which is a bit strange. Considering you do get like indicators of when a monster's going to hit in a certain area or do a certain thing, like we can see there. You've just got to walk out of the way and avoid that Tuko's evil spines. So there you go. It works on the global cooldown system, as many traditional MMOs do, but like I say, it doesn't tend to deviate much in that respect. What else? Duty Finder, as it's called, is your dungeon finder. So the UI is pretty slick on this game, and they've obviously taken a lot from other ones, things that have worked, things that haven't worked. This is cross-realm, so you don't have to, the people you're in the party with won't necessarily be on your server. So I've unlocked 3 dungeons so far. All 3 of them have been really easy and pretty straightforward, even considering the second one I did, the tank just didn't know what he was doing and spent a lot of time doing slash dance, and I spent a lot of time pulling aggro because I'm a healer. Down to healing aggro, but the other 2, they were absolutely spot on. Trials, I've only unlocked the first one, which is Ifrit. A lot of you who played the Final Fantasy games will know who that dude is, and that is probably the first proper fight. And there's not a dungeon as such, like as you would know it in WoW or Rift or something like that. It's just what they call a trial, and you just put straight in front of him He's there, and you've got to kick the shit out of him, or he kicks the shit out of you. And that was the first low-level proper fight that I did, and it was good. We wiped the first time because none of us knew what we were doing. Once you learnt it, it wasn't too hard. And guildhests are all like just training, group training, and like showing people how to tank, heal, that type of thing. You do get experience boosts and bonus from them, and from the dungeons you do get loot of various things, and the only decent bit of loot I ever got actually from those 3 dungeons I've done is those wristlets, which aren't even that great, to be honest. You can see that you can slot items. You see the 2 slots on there as well. With materia, you've got to do a quest to get them, but you pick it up as part of the natural main quest. That takes me to the quests, which are like many other an MMO, to be honest, quite straightforward. So you see that one there with the kind of fire around the exclamation mark is your main story quest, and the story so far has been pretty decent, but it does like point you in direction of like the mount quests and like materia slotting and creating materia and stuff like that. Then the other like side quests are just, you know, go and kill like 5 harvest wings, there you go, from dusk bats, 3 or 5. Obviously got halfway through that and did something else. Slight alteration or differentiation on that with these things are called levy quests that you can do for as you get further in, you'll join a faction. You get them anyway as it starts off earlier, but you get them for factions as well, and it's a time sink. You know, you see you get so many of these seals. You will have seen it before if you've played MMOs. You do so many quests, get these seals or marks or whatever you want to call them. You trade them in for various goods that you may want. So they work in. You get the time, so you can see with this one. I think there's one called the Burning Reason. Yeah, so it's on the map as that red circle, and you want to be in the area where it begins before you initiate it, because it's timed, like I just said there. So we'll just have a look at this quickly. Just initiate that. Yeah, okay, and we'll just have it on 1 for the sake of the video. The higher you put it, the more experience you get, etc. And off it goes. 20 minutes I've got. Mamanzo Chard. So basically, one of the best as it snakes is fear, self-immolation, something like this, and the next one, carry out your objectives. And we can see the card there, which is, that is instant, well not instance, but that is mine. Nobody else can touch Mamazando the Chard, only me, so I'm going to kick the crap out of him. Which I'm glad it was just one of those, because some of them, like, you've got to use emotes to beckon people, or slash poke. I had one where you had to like slash poke these mobs, and then you got these things off them, and oh my, what in God's name is that? So this shows off the combat a little bit, and I should be actually in my cleric stance at the moment, which I wasn't, and I should have my shield on as well. And as I stand there like a noob and just get an absolute boshing by that creature. But as with anything, should take down the ads first, really. Yeah, so you see the big red like warning there, it's going to get you. And sometimes, honestly, you get out of the way of them and you still get absolutely burned by it. There we go, we've got his ad out of the way. I'll just drop a dot on him as well. So yeah, the combat's very, very straightforward. It's very flashy, it's very typical Final Fantasy, as you can see. I don't know if he's silencing me, is he? I can heal myself, being a healer, obviously. Don't heal as much when I'm in the cleric stance, because that changes my stat mind, which is for healing, to intellect, which does more damage. But he's level 22. He's only 1 level higher than me, but it's obviously kind of a semi-elite, really. Let's get next to him and give him a hit with this. Ah, now what's he got out? Look, he's got all sorts of tricks up his sleeve, hasn't he, the little... Some kind of like a balloon or something. Crazy balloon. Hopefully these won't be as hard as him. It's obviously going to do some explosion thing, but I'm way too lazy to move. I hope that wasn't... Yeah, there it goes. I heard it. Yeah, that didn't really hurt too much. I'm not massively worried about this. Is it dead? I think it's dead. That puts me back onto him. Let's just get a little bit worried, then out comes a heal pop. Even like with that stance on, I've got that much mind and stuff, but I can do a fair bit of healing for this level anyway. He's not happy, is he? Oh, surprise, surprise. What is that? A mouldy pudding. So we fought a balloon, fought a giant fly, and now we've got to fight a mouldy pudding. I'm just in awe at like some of the monsters in this game, really. Mouldy pudding. Maybe how you spell that anyway. Oh, wrong. Tab target in this game is pretty horrendous as well. I tend to use this on the left hand side because it gives you focus automatically on the left hand side. It's very handy for healing and damage dealing when you're in dungeons, because honestly you end up tab targeting something about halfway down the dungeon and become the most popular person when you... There you go. So, duty complete. So you do that. I mean, they're no different to any other quest really, are they, apart from the like, just for you. So if somebody else had seen him standing there and they tried to attack it, it would have said, well, no. But that's already for somebody else, and you go and hand it in and collect your reward. Exciting times, exciting times. There we go. Ooh. So there we go, level up to 22 as well. I've got stones 2, which is more damage for me. So a couple of other things just of note before I wrap up this video is, yeah, you can get the mounts. As you can see there, I'm on the mount quest now myself. You can get chocobos and various other things. Travel, you can teleport via these giant crystals or smaller ones that you find round and about. You can either click on them and use them to teleport, or there are, for a fee, you can teleport to wherever you want. Which is quite handy because some of the quests, especially the main quest storyline, it'll send you go and speak to somebody and then go and do something on the other side of the map, then go and speak to them again. Rinse and repeat can get quite annoying. Thankfully you've got chocobo, like teleport, and there are like almost like flight paths from WoW. There are chocobo keep sitting around you for like a small fee. You can rent one to take you to another town, and they will ferry you there. And there are airships, and there are also boats as well. There's all sorts of stuff. So yeah, there's all that to go on. Like I say, you want to do a dungeon, you just get up. As a healer, I get into groups pretty quickly, like within a couple of minutes, but I have read on the forums damage dealers can wait upwards of an hour plus. I don't know, if you're a tank or a healer, you're going to get in pretty quick. So that's how that works, pretty straightforward. There are various tiers of loot. You can find more epic loot, like I say, in dungeons and stuff like that. So, and there are like guilds you can join as well, like, I mean, player guilds. So yeah, like I say, nothing really from other traditional MMOs, nothing a great deal of difference. The game looks nice, it plays nice, and it's just all very clean. It's all very textbook, really. And it's got all the grinding in there you'd expect as well. So, you know, don't know if I've tempted you or put you off buying it. Subscription based, it is. You will get 30 days free when you first buy it, and I would suggest if you want to buy it, you get it a hard copy of it online or from the shop, because it's much cheaper than buying the digital download direct from the site. Alright, so that'll about do it for me on Final Fantasy. Take it easy. I'm Beerfox.